Determining the right fit for a sales role in an interview can be difficult. However, here's one thing that you can do to stack the odds in your favor. Salespeople are really good at selling themselves, and that's why it's very difficult to determine the right candidate just through interviews and resumes alone. However, there's one thing that I like to do to help separate the wheat from the chaff, and that's a role-playing session. I feel like it's a great way of getting an understanding of how the salesperson thinks through problems, what their approach would be, and ultimately if they will be a good fit for the particular role. So this is how we set up the role play. They have just received a lead that us, the prospect, is interested in whatever service that they feel most comfortable selling. Their goal is to give us a phone call to try to set up a meeting at a later time. So the first question I ask is, how are you going to prepare for this call? And depending on their answer, it usually gives me a really good understanding of their level of organization, how they think through problems, and how they plan ahead in the short term. After that, we have them actually kind of pretend to be on the phone with us and ultimately trying to get us to get to that meeting. This is usually kind of a good way of us getting an understanding of their level of adaptability, which I think is a really key component of a good salesperson. How quickly can they adapt to the changing scenario? If I throw a couple curveballs at them, if I'm not giving them the answers that they want to hear, how are they going to rebound from that and then maybe pivot the conversation to get it to where it needs to be? Next, we take a step back and I ask them, what do they think they did well and what things would they have changed if they could do it again? And then I also provide my feedback as far as what I observed and what things I would give or change in their conversation. And I think between the two, it really gives them some really good feedback in which they can incorporate and move forward. So it tells me their level of coachability. It also tells me their level of being able to kind of self-diagnose any issues that they're having, which really helps when they're out there on their own trying to get these deals done. And also it shows me how kind of open they are to constructive criticism, which I think is important for anybody that's looking to be coached. Finally, and the most awkward portion of the whole scenario is that we run through the role play scenario once again. And then I take a look at how much they were able to incorporate both the feedback and their own introspection on how they performed into the conversation to pivot it to where it needs to be. With that whole kind of role play scenario, I really feel like I have a good understanding of this person's capabilities and what their what their style is when it comes to selling. Now, I'm not expecting everybody to knock this out of the park, but like I said, it really gives me a better understanding of the person's thought process and how their brain works, that the resume or just the basic boilerplate interview questions could never accomplish. So that's my approach. I'd love to hear what works for you guys in your interviews. Please leave comments in the section below, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.